first thing you have to do is say, what the heck are my programs? You don't have to fix a program if it works. The only one you want to fix is the one that doesn't work. And if you don't like the way you have your life, stop blaming the life and start owning that you are unconsciously programmed to manifest things that you don't like. And I say, so you're just feeding this program. And if that program is altered, then all of a sudden, then you have a different outcome. And that's the red pill.
Say goodbye to the number one problem with affirmations. See link in description.
So then you say, well, what are the programs? And I can already tell you, the things that don't work in your life that you desire to have in your life, and you are creating an effort and a struggle and a lot of work to make it happen, the reason why it's not working is because somewhere in the program, it doesn't support that conclusion. So this program does not allow you to have this. So the thing is, well, as long as I have this program, I'm never going to get this. And even if I get it, it's going to disappear if I, as soon as I let go of the control, it's going to disappear because the subconscious take it away. So the first thing is identify, well, where are you having trouble? And I say, whatever that destination is, that the thing you were looking for, whether it was a job, health, relationship, whatever, if that's where you're having a trouble, recognize this. The program is counter to that. It's the opposite. The program is the opposite. That's why this can't stay here, because this is going to 95% of the day create a different program, not the one you wanted. So I say, so if I have a trouble with relationship, then basically my program for a relationship doesn't work very well. In my case, that was true. For 50 years, I was operating from the program of relationship that I downloaded from my parents, who had a really sucky relationship. It was so bad. And I was just manifesting it unconsciously until I started to change. Once I changed, now I have heaven on earth, a whole different game. And I start with what was my whole premise. I am the co-creator of my life. Well, if I'm the co-creator of my life, then how come I'm having a crap creation? And the first thing is stop looking outside, because that's our first effort. Bill does not see his behavior. So when it doesn't work for him, then he has to say, well, somebody else created this. I'm just a victim of this, okay? And so basically that's where we all stand. We're victims of things. Well, the moment you say victim, as we mentioned, that means you have no power. And I go, no, wait. If I understand that I am creating this, then I have to say, how can I uncreate this? I say, so what am I looking for? I want that to be the program, not the one that I have already. The one I'm working on, I want to have a great relationship. I want a great relationship. They fail. And then we want to blame, well, she did that, and she did that, and she did that, not looking at me going, I did that. Until I started to recognize it. In fact, it was a singular story in my personal life that profoundly changed it in boom, just like that, okay? I was looking for relationships. I kept failing at them, okay? I end up in the Caribbean teaching at a medical school. The universe throws this into my lap. The perfect pickup line in the whole world is sort of like, hey, if you're not doing anything, you want to come and stay in my villa in the Caribbean and hang out? I have a villa on the beach, and I got my own place, and blah, blah, blah. And I still wasn't able to find anybody. But I kept looking, because I said, I need a relationship. I need a relationship. So I meet this woman who comes off of some yacht, and she's, got a future that's like she'll do what she wants. And I thought, well, if you're not doing anything, why don't you want to come and stay with me in my villa on this beautiful island? And she looked at me, and then she said, I can't be with you. And I sort of like stopped for a moment. And she looked at me and she said, you're too needy. And all of a sudden, it hit me. I said, oh my God, what am I looking for? A relationship. Why? Because you're not happy. So if you're looking for a relationship because you're not happy, then you're depending on that relationship to make you happy. So that's not a nice relationship. It's codependency. If I give you this place to stay, you will make me happy. That's a trade. It's like,
yes.
After she said that, I was stunned for a moment. I can't be with you. You're too needy, she said. And I was stunned. And then all of a sudden I said, thank you. Thank you very much. It was sort of a slap in the face, right?
It's like a blessing in disguise, right?
It totally was. It was like, wake up. And I walked away from that, and I looked at my life and I said, you got this most amazing job. You teach a couple days a week. You live in the Caribbean. You got a villa. You got money in your pocket because you get paid and there's nothing to buy in the Caribbean anyway. So I say, you're healthy. You got money. You got a great place to live. You have the most wonderful job. I go, you can't be happy with that. That's what I said to myself. I said, how can I, I'm looking for this person to make me happy. I said, oh, no, first I make me happy.
Yeah.
And then when I make me happy, that changed it, and it did. What happened is I stopped bitching and started to enjoy. Look, don't you love where you live? Yeah, I love where I live. Do you love the sea? Oh, I love the sea. You like it? Oh, I love my job. And all of a sudden I started focusing on, hey, these are things I love. And guess what? I didn't need anybody.
That's when you created abundance, and that's when people became attracted to you, right?
100%, because once I didn't need them, I wasn't like, come here. I was like, I don't care.
It's fascinating how it works.
Then they showed up. They showed up because I did not need. That was the word. Because need puts pressure on that other person that they have to provide. And then they didn't have to provide. It was like, hey, let me hang out with you. I don't have to provide anything. I could just be me. I go, yeah, you be you, I be me. We have a great time. And that was the beginning of reprogramming a need for a relationship until I was happy with myself. And until once I was happy with myself and I didn't need a relationship, you should have seen how many opportunities showed up that were never there in my life before, because the need part pushed them away.
Wow.
I'm not dependent on the outcome. I'm okay if it doesn't work. Why? I'm living alone, but I'm enjoying living alone. So I'm not like, oh, I'm alone, I need somebody. No, hey, I live in a wonderful place. I got everything I want. Okay, so a relationship, I don't need that now. Why? I'm happy. If somebody's here, that'd be fun. And if they're not here, I'm just happy anyway. It doesn't make any difference. So all of a sudden, that urgent need that makes you grab something and pull it in, that's where it goes wrong, because it didn't come in on its own. You pulled it in. And if you're not in the right place, that thing is going to go back out again by itself anyway. And that's why we make relationships, they break, and then we make another relationship, and then it breaks. I go, you were playing the same damn behavior over and over again. And once you change that, you are empowered. Now, I just mentioned the regard to empowerment of finding a relationship, but it applies to every level, whether it's the job, whether it's my health. I'm working real hard to stay healthy and it's not working. I'm working really hard. I go, why are you working so hard? Because somewhere program is taking away your health. And I say, so you're just feeding this program. And if that program is altered, then all of a sudden, then you have a different outcome. And that's the red pill. I have an opportunity to not play the damn program. When I'm not playing the program, I am creator. When I'm playing the program, I am habit. And so, but 5% of the average person's life is how much they're the creator, 95% they're the habit. And it's interesting because it's like, oh, this is new science. I go, it's new science. But it's interesting because the Jesuits, the Catholic order, for 400 years, told their followers exactly this: be a child until it is 7 and I will show you the man. I go, what did they know? This is exactly what they knew.
They couldn't explain it, but they knew it worked, right?
Yeah, they knew that 7 years was programming, so give me the child for 7 years. And then they knew that 95% of the rest of that life is the program. So whatever I put in the first 7 years shapes the rest of that life. And that's, give me a child until it's 7, I will show you the man, because whatever program that went in will be you when you grow up. And if you don't like the way you have your life, stop blaming the life and start owning that you are unconsciously programmed to manifest things that you don't like. And that now, if you understand what the program is you want to change, then you have an opportunity to change it. If you don't know what the programs are, then what are you going to change? But the programs are in your face every day. That's because 95 is. So the issue is, can I change it? And the answer, of course you can change it. But then why do people say change is hard? And the answer is this: because the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, conscious mind creative, subconscious mind is habit, different functions, but they learn in different ways. The conscious mind is creative. I go, so what does that mean? I can learn from anything. Watch this podcast, watch a video, go to a lecture, read a self-help book. Even if I just go, aha, I have a new idea. I can change consciousness, it's creative. In contrast, subconscious is habit. I go, so why is it relevant? I say, well, if a habit changes so easily, then it's not a habit, is it? A habit is something, if you learn how to do it, you don't want it to change. I learned how to walk before I was 2. I'm still walking. I sure as heck don't want to change it. So the subconscious mind resists change as part of its function. Because if it changes willy-nilly, then your life wouldn't work right anymore. Mm-hmm. So now the question is this. If you want to change the subconscious mind, can you do it the same way you change the conscious mind? I go, nope.
No.
You could read the book and you could take a quiz. Everything I just read in a self-help book, I take a quiz, I get 100 on the quiz, and I go, wow, you really know it. And I say, did your life change now that you've read the book? And it's just, no, but I can get 100 on the quiz. I go, well, that's because your conscious mind was taking the quiz, but your subconscious mind didn't take the program. So now all of a sudden, this is the conclusion part of this most important thing. And that is, yes, it's difficult to change the subconscious mind because it doesn't want to change. I say, well, how do you change the subconscious mind? I say, how did it learn in the first place? I say, what was the first one? I say, theta, 7 years. Brain was functioning lower vibration than consciousness. You have to slow down the brain to a much slower vibration. Then it goes into the subconscious mind. That's why hypnotherapists in the old days, they had a watch and they would swing it back and forth. So the watch would swing and they would tell the person, you're getting sleepy, you're getting tired. And the reason they say that is because that shuts down the conscious vibration. And the next vibration is theta, which is hypnosis. So to get you into hypnosis, first I have to get your conscious brain to stop. Mm-hmm. And then in hypnosis state, theta, the vibration theta, then whatever is coming from the outside is not going into my conscious mind. Whatever I see on the outside is going into my subconscious program. So if you want to change the subconscious, you have to talk to the subconscious. I go, how do you do that? Well, number 1, hypnosis. And I go, oh, well, I need to see the hypnotherapist? I go, no, this is the cool part. I say, why? I said, we have different vibrations. The lowest vibration is delta, is sleep. The next higher vibration is theta, hypnosis, imagination. The next higher vibration is alpha, calm consciousness. And the next higher vibration is called beta, which is like schoolroom, like what we're doing here, consciousness, okay? I go, so why is it relevant? I say, when you're asleep, you're at the lowest. And when you start to wake up, you go up first to theta. And that's like in the morning where you're half awake and half asleep. And then I say, but then when you're awake, you're in alpha, now you're in consciousness. And then when you go to work, you're in beta, which is like the working consciousness. But when you come home, it reverses. So I come home from work, I'm in beta, but I relax. Oh, the consciousness vibration slows down to alpha. And here's the fact. The moment that the vibrations get a little lower than alpha, consciousness is now shut off for the night. You're sleeping. Yeah, but there's a period of time after alpha shuts off before it reaches delta, the lowest one. There's a period of time of theta. I go, why is it relevant? I said, you put earphones on. And the moment, and you play a program of what? Of what you want. A self-help program of make a relationship, be healthy, do a job, whatever. You get the program, self-help program. I say, you put it on a CD player, let's say, and you put the earphones on. And while you're still awake, just before you go to sleep, you can hear what's going on. But the moment you fall asleep, conscious mind shut off, but guess what? Theta is on.
The work is getting done, right?
Right, it's good. You're getting a self-hypnosis with the earphone. So whatever you didn't hear it, you were sleeping. The subconscious mind was hearing it. And when you repeat that, that's how you put a new program in. So that's number 1, self-hypnosis. Number 100% accurate, 100% positive way to do this. And the most important fact, if I can only offer one fact, which you mentioned, but I want to emphasize again, is that when you're putting in a wish and a desire, put it in as if you already have it. I am healthy. I am a good relationship person. I have a great job. What's that? I say, it's like I already have it. And yet most people don't have it. So they'll say, I want a great job. I want a great relationship. I want to be healthy. And I go, make a recording of those words. We just said that. I want to be healthy today, right now. Tuesday. We're going to make a recording. I say, now come back in 1 year and let's push the button on that recording. And we come back a year later and it says, I want to be healthy. I go, it's a whole year and you still want to be healthy?
Still don't have it, right?
You didn't say I am healthy. All you're emphasizing, I have a desire to be healthy. I want to be healthy. I have a desire to be healthy. And I go, you can have that desire the rest of your life. You're not going to get healthy. You want to be healthy, you say, I am healthy. But then you look and say, yeah, but in reality, I'm sick. And I go, no. The function of the mind is to take the program and turn it into reality. So if I am sick, but I put a program in, I am healthy, the mind looks, like, well, wait a second, the program is I am healthy, but the body is not healthy. So what's the function of the mind? Create health in the body. It doesn't change the program, it changes the body. And so the idea is this: every time we put a program in, it has to be as if you already have it, in spite of the fact you could be dying of cancer. I go, I am healthy. It sounds kind of weird. And I go, don't worry about it. Just put it on I am healthy, because once it is a program, the function of the mind is to manifest it as reality. That's the part. And so my little caveat, you brought it up, I'm emphasizing it, and that was simply this: that whatever you're downloading, you have to say it as if you already have it. Because if you put a future tense on it, I will, I want, I say, if you record that, that means you will always want to have it. I will do this. You won't get there. So I just wanted to bring that in, because if we're making a program, then you must make sure it says as if you already have it, in spite of the fact you don't. But Jesus told his followers, all the miracles that I can do, you can do them, but even better than I can, and you don't believe it. And that was the whole damn thing in a nutshell. If you don't believe it, you can't do it. And I say, well, where's belief come from? Mind. I say, and then what if you've been programmed you can't do it? And I say, then you'll never be able to do it. And this is the problem. And so we talked about way number one. You want to change it? Hypnosis, because that's the original way things went in the first place. And that what you said was true. Even you just say, I feel amazing, I feel amazing. If you repeat that, the mind will all of a sudden change how you feel. That's how it does it, okay? So I say, number one, self-hypnosis. Number two, after age 7, you still learn how to do new things that become habits. Like, you didn't learn how to drive a car until later than 7. But once you know how to drive a car, remember the first day you got in, it was like, oh my God, looking out the windows, checking the mirror, watching the gauges, keeping your feet on the pedals just correctly, looking, paying all these attentions, like, and I say, today you've been driving for a while. You don't even think about that. You get in the car, you put the key in, and now what are you thinking about? Well, what am I going to do when I get to the store? You're not even thinking about driving. Why? It's a habit. Okay. I say, well, how'd you get that habit? Because you're older than 7. How'd you get it? I said, repetition. That's what makes a habit. Practice. You want to play an instrument? I'll hand you an instrument. Yeah, you didn't have any practice, then you're not going to be able to play it. And I say, oh, practice. I say, what is that? Repetition. That's the second way the subconscious learns. Repeating something over and over and over again, because that's called habituation, making a habit. And I love it. The new age today thing is fake it till you make it. I go, what the hell is that? I say, you're not happy. Yeah, most of us have trouble being happy. And I say, but what if every day, all day long, then you can remember, you say, I am happy. In spite of the fact that what the hell is going on, you just say, I am happy. I am happy. I am happy. I go, why? What's going on? I say, repetition. And there'll be a point where you'll repeat it to the degree that the subconscious, which learns by repetition, will put in, I am happy. I say, then what's the consequence? I say, what's the function of the mind? Take that program and manifest it. Now that it's in there, I am happy. I wake up one morning and guess what? I don't have to say I'm happy. It's automatic. I'm already happy all day long. Why? My program said that. 95% is coming from that. Habituation, repetition of the exact thing you want, not future vision, as if you have it now. We'll put it in a program. So that's first 7 years hypnosis. After 7 years, repetition, habituation is how you change it. A sticky note, people put that stuff on a mirror or someplace and they go, oh yeah, the little sticky note. And I go, that is not repetition. That's a suggestion. A repetition is a practice. You have to repeat things. You practice an instrument, you practice driving a car, you practice doing these things, and then it became real. Okay, so the first two things are hypnosis, Second thing is repetition. And thirdly, the most, effective is called energy psychology. And I go, what's energy psychology? And I go, it's called super learning. I go, so what the hell is super learning? I go, maybe you've seen somebody read a book by picking up a book and just moving their finger down the page, just like that, just as fast as that. And guess what? The subconscious mind, the supercomputer that it is, has read every word just by moving your finger down that, has read every word on that page. And a person using this super learning technique can go into a bookstore, open up a book, and 5 minutes later, by thumbing through each page, turn the page, turn the page, turn the page, they can read a whole book in 5 minutes. That's super learning. I say, if you can engage that function, you can also use super learning to create new programs, not in days or weeks, but you can create a new program in minutes. It's like, I go, absolutely. And it's so important. Why? Because there's an old phrase that's really critical. It's called necessity is the mother of invention. And I say, what's happening? We're facing a mass extinction due to human behavior that is compromising the web of life. Humans are creating this through our behavior, our culture. I say, you want to survive this whole, extinction event? Well, then you have to create something different. You have to change behavior. And so civilization is being called on to change behavior. I say, how fast? As fast as you can change.
Right now, yesterday.
And so on my website, which is simple, brucelipton.com, under resources, I've listed maybe 25 different belief change, energy psychology modalities. They're all engaging one way or another the super learning process. You can read through that, very quick little description on each one, find one you like, look it up, and start to try it out, because it's a miracle of life that some of these processes that work, they all work, but depending on if they're working for you, that's why there's so many different ones. When it works, you can walk away 5 minutes later and have a completely different life. Come in, change the belief, 5, 10, 15 minutes. The harder part is identifying exactly the belief you want to put in. Once you have exactly the belief, it's a very short process to put it in. More work putting in, what the hell is it I need to be real in my life? Then that's where you make a belief statement. And then once you have that belief statement, then the process of installing it is very quick. And so there's about 25 different energy psychology modalities on that website. And they're profoundly important, because we shouldn't waste any time. What if you can just change tomorrow right away by just doing one of these? I say, is it real? I go, absolutely it is. I wouldn't have been able to write my book if I didn't change my subconscious program, which was sabotaging me from writing the book, because my subconscious said, if you write this book, guess what? You're going to lose respectability from all your colleagues, which I did. But there was a point when I rewrote the program and said, I don't care about that. I'm writing this book. I had to change my subconscious was saving my career. Bruce, if you write this book, your scientific colleagues are going to push you out, essentially. I go, okay, you want to take this on your career? Okay, I'm ready to do it. Change the program, and then the book came right out as soon as I did that. Okay. And all the other facts of why my last book, The Honeymoon Effect, is, like, to me, most exciting, is because my life was not honeymoon. My life was lots of struggles here and there. I'm a very successful research scientist, but personal life sucked. It was really bad. And now it's like I had to write the Honeymoon Effect book, because what is it like to have a honeymoon every day of your life for the rest of your life? Well, that's the reality. It's not just a little period that happens for a few weeks and you feel overjoyed and great, and then it disappears. And so 3 ways of learning, to summarize very quickly: hypnosis, putting earphones on at night with a program you want to be true. Repetition, that's after age 7, that's the process of putting in new habits, okay? And energy psychology, which is like lightning change in the system.